really quick, let's get you guys up to speed on what I'm currently working on. This is middle of August, and this is a bike I am building for myself. So what we're looking at here is a 1970 Honda CL350. There's CL and then there's CB. CB is your city bike. CL was a very mild enduro type branch of a bike that they made. One of the main differences is that the CL, which this is, would have had a exhaust pipe that both exhausts make a really tight curl right here, and the exhaust stays really high on the bike and comes right up here. It's really cool looking. The CBs, which is your city bikes, would come down like that. So this is actually a CB pipe I have on here right now. Comes down, and then the muffler stays nice and low and goes below the exhaust out the back. Anyway, so this is CL350. Loving this bike, looking really good. Chrome's looking good. Original fender. But here's where we're at and here's where we're going. Here's the decision that I've made. You guys know that I love to get everything right back to original, right? Just like this. This is a CB200. It is all original. I went top to bottom, cleaned it completely up. It looks fantastic. You know, it's got the right pipes on it, original front fender. See, this is chrome. You know, it's all original. You know, this is the original lighting it would have had on it, or does have on it, is correct for it. You know, that's where I usually go. But let me show you this bike over here. This is another 200. This is the direction we're going with the CL. See, it's got some modern touches on it, right? Different exhaust, shorter fender, kind of a cafe style, LED signals, all black headlight, you know, different bars, different grips, you know, just some really mild changes that kind of moderned it up a little bit. There's a couple reasons why we are going to do that with this. The main one is the original parts for the CL. Some of them are really hard to find, and also if you tweak some of these things, these mild changes, it'll make the bike look better. So this frame came with these all blacked out shocks. So that was, they're a good brand. They're fine. We're gonna roll them, but they're not that original chrome. So just in the shocks alone, we're already kind of deviating from, you know, that all original idea. But I have this front wheel is correct. The CL had its own separate size for the front. It wasn't super common. It's a 19-inch front rim instead of an 18. So I'm lucky I have the right wheel size for this bike, but someone rattle canned it black and I really don't like it. It's also got some chips in it already. It's not looking good. So what I want to do is I'm making some phone calls today about powder coating this, seeing if they can strip it, powder coat it. If that's not feasible, we are going to get a new rim, like new rim with brand new spokes, relace it up, and then the hub, we will sandblast and powder coat, and that'll last forever. And then whatever we do with the front, we will carry on with the back. The back is in pretty good condition. We might save this rear wheel, but just put new spokes on it, and then do the same with that rear hub. So anyway, we'll see. Got some phone calls to make. The motor has been completely gone through. It has a new clutch in it. It has 20 over pistons. It has, let's see, all the original valving, all the original camshaft, stuff like that. New coil, new wires, good to go. But the motor's been gone through, looks good. I've had this headlight laying around for quite a while, but it's not an original. So, but it's all blacked out, looks good. It's modern headlight. So anyway, some of these small things, just because of availability, right? Like, we're changing on it. And then we're gonna kind of clean it up at the same time. So probably gonna keep the same rear style tail light, you know, that big one. I just gonna put a new lens on it. Already have that here. We're gonna do the original seat with a new cover on it. That'll look good. And this is the most exciting thing right here. So the tank, ignore this tank. This is not the tank for this bike. I have on the way a 1972, this is a 70 bike. I have a 1972 tank on the way. So it's a little different shape, better color, better pinstriping, new old stock, brand new from Honda. It's been in a box for like 40 years. I have that on the way, and that's gonna go on this bike. It's gonna be perfect centerpiece for it. It's gonna look awesome. We're gonna change the bars. The reason I'm going with a different year tank is because the 1970, the correct tank for this bike, were a little shorter, a little more, just not great looking. They had a really simple stripe on them, and I just didn't ever really like how that tank looked. And then anytime I find one, it's beat up really bad. So I don't want to spend a bunch of money fixing something I won't like in the end, right? Because this bike I'm doing for myself. So it's gonna be 1970 frame, you know, everything, 1970 bike with a 72 tank. There's very small changes between the 70 and 72. Tank is one of them, side covers are another. So I'm probably just gonna keep the 1970 side covers on here and have one of the only differences be the tank. We're gonna do that new exhaust from these guys right here. If you guys remember that 1977 750 I did, I got in a full exhaust system from those guys, and that exhaust was beautiful. It looked great. That was a 4-into-1. This is gonna be a 2-into-1. So 2 brand new headers come down, collect underneath the bike, and then they will come out just above the axle over here. So it will be kind of a nice mix of what originally was a CB and a CL. You know, CB had the low pipe, CL had the high pipe. This is gonna kind of come up in the middle. So I think that'll be a really nice look. I have a rebuild kit here for the shocks. Got the oil and everything, so we're gonna rebuild the shocks probably today, get those knocked out. So anyway, got some phone calls to make on the wheels. Tank is on the way. Exhaust needs ordered. You know, it's gonna have probably some dark, actually I ordered some dark tan grips. I think it'll look good. I have a lower profile bar, not the drop bars, I hate those. But they're gonna be an 1.5 rise. This is like a 2 7/8 rise, I think. They're gonna be a little lower. The bars I ordered are gonna be very comparable to these. I really like how these look. And they're a nice feel. So anyway, but the frame is gonna be untouched. I mean, it's fully powder coated and cleaned up nice. We're not gonna be cutting anything, you know, like a lot of the cafe guys do with the seats. We're not doing that. Gonna keep it as original as possible. Just a couple small changes to make it a really nice bike to ride and look at. So anyway, that's where we're at. That's where we're going. We're gonna keep the drum brakes, of course. You know, dual carbureted, good old bike. I got the rear tire right here. We're gonna go with the older style tread pattern, which I love. But yeah, I'm gonna put a new chain on it, whatever. Oh, one last thing before I quit talking. We have these little guys. I really like how these little signals look. All blacked out. It is a halogen bulb, so nothing on this will be LED. It'll still be kind of old school halogen, which will be nice. But anyway, I think it'll be a really nice looking bike when we're done. And that's the current project.